Hey there, Heather. Hello there. It's Jeff Carter Diamond welcoming you to another OOTP 24 Legends League divisional preview. As we go through, we went through the whole AL East, Central, West, and of course the North and South, and the NL East. We now do the NL Central with the Cubs, Reds, and Pirates, bringing their legend teams stay in the Central, whereas St. Louis and Milwaukee will have their legendary teams leave the Central and put seasonal teams in their place. Anyway, the Cubs legends have Kiki Cooler at DH, Mark Grace at first base, Hack Wilson in center field, 5'5", one of the shortest, if not the shortest, NL MVPs ever. Sammy Sosa in right field, while Hack Wilson also holds the record for most RBIs in a modern season with 191 back in 1930. And then slamming Sammy Sosa right field, who looked like he was going to be a home run hitter, but of course steroids happen. Dave Kingman in left field, known for his home runs, especially the one against Philadelphia in 1979 in that famous 26-23 game, or was it 23-22? Yeah, 23-22 game when he hit one way out in left field. Ryan Sandberg at second base, the man who Philly gave to the Cubs. Ron Santo at third base, great player. Rick Wilkins will be your catcher, and Woody English your shortstop. Rotation wise, there might be a change. I think there'll be a change. Well, anyway, Carlos Zambrano will be the ace of the squad. Very good from the 2000s. Rich Sutcliffe coming over from Cleveland in that trade and going 16-1 as a Cub in 1984, helping the Cubs do well. Ted Lilly will be replaced. I think Kerry Wood will come into the bullpen. I mean, Kerry Wood should be in the rotation because, it's Kerry Wood. Like, his starting stuff looks good. Yeah, I think Kerry Wood. Ted Lilly. I'm going to put Kerry Wood in the starting rotation for Ted Lilly. Ryan Dempster, the Canadian from British Columbia, the number 4 guy, and Rick Rusho, who was a good Cubs pitcher in the 70s. We'll go fifth. Lee Smith is your closer, although he could have been for St. Louis, but Lee Smith was a good Cubs closer first. Sean Marshall and Randy Myers will be part of the Cubs organization. Three Finger Brown, also there too. Carlos Marmon and Clark Griffith, going with the 19th century pitcher. So I think we're going to just put Kerry Wood in. Give Ted Lilly the middle relief stuff. So yeah, Kerry Wood does that. Let's go to the ballpark. The Cubs will be playing at normal Wrigley Field. I know it doesn't have those advertisements and all that, but the old field, Wrigley Field, you might as well. I mean, it's a great stadium to play in, and that's where the Cub Legends will be. And now the Reds Legends with Joe Morgan at second base, the speedster. Pete Rose in left field. Gotta find a spot for Pete Rose. Joey Votto, the Canadian, will be your DH. Lifelong Red. Now he's signed a minor league deal with the Blue Jays. That's right now in real life. Ted Kluszewski at first base, the power hitter of the 50s for the Reds. Eric Davis, center field. Great player. Paul O'Neill in right field. Well, the Yankees couldn't find a use for him, so O'Neill goes to the Reds. Legends. Barry Larkin at shortstop, the captain. Johnny Bench at catcher, as should be, and Aaron Boone at third base. The rotation, Johnny Vandermeer, the man who threw back-to-back no-hitters. Once upon a time, he's the ace. Jose Rijo, great guy from the 90s, the 1990 champion Reds, he will go second. Jim Maloney, throwing a no-hitter even though he walked 10 guys, one game against the Cubs. 10 inning no-hitter. Mario Soto and Johnny Cueto will be your other guys. The bullpen, Rob Dibble is your closer. Adonis Chapman will be the setup guy. All that. Danny Jackson is a reliever. Jeff Brantley, Jeff Shaw, Raleigh Eastwick, and Tom Hume will run out the bullpen. Ballpark. The Reds will be playing their games at Crosley Field, known for that weird scoreboard and the jaggedness of the wall and all that. And of course, You don't see it because this version does not have the home run thing printed on the wall. But yeah, Crosley looks like a good stadium to host the Reds legends and all that with crazy right field and all that. The Pittsburgh Legends, led by Honus Wagner at third base. He should be at shortstop, but yeah, you might as well put Honus Wagner in somewhere. He's going to be the third baseman, the Flying Dutchman. Andrew McCutcheon at center field, Mr. Know-It-All. Willie Stargell at first base, Pops. We Are Family, 1979. Ralph Kiner in left field, Kiner's Corner. Dave Parker in right field, the Cobra. Jason Bay, the Canadian, will be your DH for the Pirates. George Granum at second base. Jason Kendall will be your catcher, and Jack Wilson at shortstop. Rotation, Howie Chemnitz will be the ace. Jesse Tannehill, Babe Adams, John Candelaria, and Dougie Drabeck will also do the bullpen work. Well, Hanrahan is your closer. Don't know why. Deacon Philippe in the bullpen with Bob Field, the setup guys. Danny Belinda, closer in the 90s. Mike Williams, Evan Meek, and Kent Turkville will be your bullpen guys. Ballpark information. And they'll play at Three River Stadium will be where the Pittsburgh Legends will play with the bouncy turf and all that. But, you know, I just didn't have much options. And somehow I couldn't get the PNC Park. So, you know, that's where Three River Stadium will be doing all that. And now the Legends teams, well, there's a Pirates Legends team. The 1960 Pirates were selected as the seasonal team because of Bill Mazeroski. You see him. Well, you see Bob Skinner in left field, Roberto Clemente in right field, the powerful guy, humanitarian, who died doing a humanitarian thing. Rocky Nelson at first. Hal Smith will DH. Smokey Burgess catching. Dick Rode at shortstop, winning the NL MVP at that time, 1960. Don Hoke at third. Bill Burden center, and Mazeroski, the second baseman. The starting five, and I think we're going to make a change. Yeah, we'll make a change. Bob Friend, Joe Gibbon, Harvey Haddix, and Tom Chaney will stay in the rotation. George Witt will be taken out by Fern Law. So Fern Law will come in for George Witt. So we'll put Olivo in setup and put the long relief to George Witt. So Fern Law will be in the starting rotation because Fern Law's a good pitcher. So Roy Face, your closer. Dimitros Olivo, your setup guy. Red Witt. Benny Daniels, Jim Obrick. Middle relief with George Witt and Paul Guile, your relievers. Info, ballpark. And Pittsburgh will play at Forbes Field. I know it's an older version of Forbes Field, but they played at Forbes Field to start the 1960 season, so that's where their games will be played with that famous clock on top of the scoreboard in left field and all that. That's where the 1960 Pirates are playing. 1964 Cardinals with Kurt Flood at center field, great defensive center fielder. Dick Rode at short. Bill White at first. Ken Boyer playing third base. Doug Clemens in left. Mike Shannon in right, the famous broadcaster who passed away recently. Tim McCarver passed away recently too. He's a catcher. Ben Pascal, your DH, and Julio Javier at second base. Now I know the Cardinal fans would be like, wait a minute, where's Lou Brock? Well, this was the start of the 64 season before the Cardinals got Brock from the Cubs. So technically, this is where it started. So the 64 Cardinals don't have Lou Brock. But anyway, Bob Gibson, Ray Sadicki, Mike Cuellar. Mike Cuellar? That's going to be a joke. I guess not. Because Cuellar was part of the 64 Cardinals. Kurt Simmons and Ray Washburn are your rotation for the 64 Cardinals. Barney Schultz, your closer. Bob Humphreys and Bobby Shantz. Setup guys, Roger Craig, the hard luck guy from the 62 Mets there. Gordy Richardson Ron Taylor, the Canadian, and Harry Fanuc. The bullpen. Let's go to the info. Ballpark. And this is where the Cardinals used to play, Sportsman Park. A lot of people said that, oh, that's the St. Louis Browns thing. But no, the Cardinals shared Sportsman Park with the Browns before the Browns moved to Baltimore. And then they had the ballpark all to themselves. And that's why they kind of needed Busch Stadium, the original Busch Stadium, at that. So that's where the Cardinals will play. 64 Cardinals played, not at the other Busch Stadium with the artificial turf. And the last team in the Central, the 82 Milwaukee Brewers. Milwaukee decided to put a team in the NL Central. You have Paul Molitor at third base. Great guy for the Brewers before he moved to the Blue Jays. Jim Gantner at second. Robin Yan at shortstop. This was the year he won the MVP as a shortstop, not as an outfielder. Cecil Cooper at first. Don Money will DH. Ben Ogilvie in left. Gorman Thomas in center. Harvey's Wallbangers known for their home run hitting. Ted Simmons, your catcher. Charlie Moore, your right fielder. The rotation, Moose Haas, Frank DePino, Bob McClure, Pete Vukovich, and Mike Caldwell. With the bullpen having Rolly Fingers as the closer, Dwight Bernard, Jim Slayton, Pete Ladd, Doug Jones, Jerry Augustine, and Jamie Easterly. Let's check the ballpark. And the ballpark is County Stadium. The pitchers are wrong. Not found. They couldn't find that ballpark? The pitchers are. Okay, there we go. Daytime pitchers, 3D model. Yeah, I'll have to work on that. But yeah, that's Milwaukee County Stadium. So this is where the 82 Brewers played, and that's where they'll play in this one, the 80s version of County Stadium, with a nice scoreboard there in right center field. Yeah, so that's where they'll play. I know there's another County Stadium for the 57 Milwaukee Braves, but yeah, this is the Brewers version of it. But where's the beer stein? Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. So that's the NL Central for you. We'll talk about the NL West tomorrow. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.